Now that I have the fan in, I'm headed to the hardware store to get everything I need for the walls and ceiling. I have a massive list of plywood and shiplap and primed boards to pick up. I'm finally to the start of building, and I cannot wait. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you take time to click that button. It really helps support me in bringing these videos, and we're just getting started. Soon, I'll have all the national park videos on the way. I'm headed into the store to pick up all the lumber. I'm gonna leave you here this time, but I'll let you see what I get when I come back out. It took 2 hardware stores, but I think I have everything that I need to frame out the van. I'm sizing up the ceiling to get started. The plan is to put the shiplap directly on the support beams, but I have to find something to even out these gaps. Then we should be good to go. But that is the first step. This is the spot that I need to fill. I'm gonna cut smaller pieces of this that'll even out the ceiling, and then as I put the shiplap across, it won't dip in on those low spots. It should work. There's a few more things I need to do before starting to install the ceiling. One of them is to create a box to go around this. That way, as I do the ceiling, I know to go here and then down. It should be smaller than it was originally, and it'll really protect those wires as I'm driving. I just need to get the frame of it fixed to the wall before I get started. It's always the prep that takes the longest. If I could just get started putting the ceiling boards up, it'd be so much faster. But prepping the walls and then prepping the electrical for the lights takes some planning before I get started. That worked either. I almost feel like I should just wait here till it dries, but that's not the plan. Found some screws that work pretty well, but I didn't have this project done. Everything is taking longer than expected, which is exactly what you should expect when you're building a van. This did not go smoothly, but it's done. Had to try like 4 different ways to do it, and the biggest stress is that this is how I plan to do the ceiling, where I just screw right into the metal, and it didn't go smoothly. While the goal was to finish this task, my stress was because of the ceiling. So now that this is done, and it worked, and that method should work for the ceiling, and that was to use a pilot hole and a metal screw. Today's the day we finally get to add the ceiling. I have my 3M Thinsulate and all the things we need to get the lights up and the ceiling started. At the end of the day, we should start to really see it come together. We're gonna start with insulation. Insulation is one of the things that you could spend days researching for your van. You can use anything from 3M Thinsulate to house insulation. It just depends on what you want. After doing all of the research, I eliminated house insulation pretty quickly because you need to make an air barrier, or the chemicals when the van heats up will actually go into the van. I didn't want to do too much spray insulation because I didn't want issues going back in later if I needed to fix something. So for me, it really came down to Thinsulate and sheep wool. I chose 3M Thinsulate. This is what it looks like. There is an edge here. This is a common filler for jackets. I know Carhartt uses 3M Thinsulate in their jackets, so it's super warm. One of the main reasons I chose it is if it gets wet, it'll just dry. I won't have any issues with mold. It's also flame resistant, so if you held a flame up to this, it might curl up from the heat, but it's not gonna catch on fire. I'm really excited to work with this. It's really flexible. There's no fiberglass, so you don't have to worry about using gloves or a lot of PPE while you put it in. I'm gonna use gloves just to protect myself from the sharp parts of the van as I try and tuck this in. I'm also going to use this heavy-duty pair of scissors that I have. This will be a lifesaver during this project. I've watched other people try standard scissors and they don't stand a chance, but these will do just fine. And then today, especially since I'm working on a ceiling, I'm going to use some spray adhesive. As we all know, I'm going to be safe with this one. I'm going to cut out all the shapes that I need for the ceiling and then stuff insulation into the support ribs where I can. I'm putting it on white side up because it'll absorb heat, but also because this black surface will be really easy to work with on the ceiling. I just need to spray this side, let it sit for about a minute until it gets tacky, and then stick it up. I'm gonna mark the middle so I kind of know where it's at as I stick it to the ceiling. Finish the insulation on the ceiling. Now I just need to get the lights ready to go so that we can start putting up ceiling boards. I'm using just standard house lights, so I have the LED puck light, but also the inverter to take the low voltage LED light up to the 110 that you would use in your house. I just need to prep these boxes before we start. What this does is it holds the wire down, keeps it from wiggling around in this big space. Instead, it'll crimp it down as it goes to the next light. So we have the boxes taped to the ceiling. That is so that when they dry, we can wire in the lights. And now I'm running the cord for the fan. So I'm fishing the cord through the van so that it's not in the way when we put the ceiling up, but yet we're wired and ready to hook it up once we're done. And that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, give it a big thumbs up. I'll be back next time where we finish wiring the lights and putting up the ceiling boards. I cannot wait to see it transform into a tiny house.